Shaquille O'Neal, we welcome you to 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks going up against the New York Knicks. For New York, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. A forgettable season for the New York Knicks in 2014. Was it a case of them underachieving, or are they simply not that great a team?
Well, they are underachieved, but the roster is good enough to make the playoffs. They just didn't meet the expectations, Ernie. Carmelo, JR, they can do a whole lot better.
Tip-off coming up shortly. Time to get it out to Kevin Harlan for the call.
The majestic nighttime skyline of Dallas, Texas. Downtown as busy and bustling as ever. Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. Along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Dallas playing for the home crowd again tonight. This their first look at this year's New York squad. Last season they split the series with each team able to win on the road.
Well, going back to last year for a second, this was one of the few matchups that they didn't get the better end of things. They split the season series.
So the New York starting five. Out on the wings, it's the feisty pair of Melo and Shumpert. Gallenberg's out there with Stoudemire, and it's Prigioni in at the one. New York with the ball. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
And I think the sort of issues they had on defense, in part at least, was a bigger factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was on the road. You have to be sharper when you go out and play as a visitor.
Yeah, everything has to be tight. You can't be loose in any aspect of your game. You're fighting against the crowd and the opponent. You've got to be tougher mentally and physically if you're going to win on the road.
Now, here is Nelson. Amon Shumpert unable to get his last shot to go. And the shot is good. Stevie mentioned the stalemate they played to a year ago. Do you see that happening again this year, Clark?
Kevin, I'm not sure. It's really too early to tell. It wouldn't surprise me, I'd say that much, after what happened last year.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
On defense, the Knicks. Chandler a screen. Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Ellis outside. Launches a three. It's rebounded by New York. Gallenberg dishes to Prigioni. And the pass to Anthony. On the wing, Shumpert. He's guarded by Ellis. Here's Stoudemire. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Stoudemire's got his first points of the game.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow, just like he got there.
Ellis, the pass to Nelson. Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Nowitzki kicks to Nelson. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Parsons. Shot is no good. Now the Knicks take it the other way. 1:43 left in the first.
Samuel Dallenberg, a 6'11" shot blocker and rebounder. His numbers are solid, but he seems to have a way of wearing out his welcome with coaches. You notice he's played for 5 teams in the last 5 seasons.
Screen by Dallenberg. Shumpert gets a wide open look. Misses off the right iron.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Parsons dishes to Nelson. 1:10 left here in the first quarter. Dallas again missing. And last season, Dallenberg, a bit of a stopgap for Dallas. He faced his share of critiques from Coach Carlin regarding conditioning, Clark, and focus.
In addition to that, somewhat turnover-prone too, Kevin. He can pick up careless fouls as well, but when you're an athletic 6'11" and can make free throws and finish around the basket, you'll always have a home in the NBA.
Now here's Shumpert following the miss by Carmelo Anthony. Prigioni passes to Shumpert. Anthony against Ellis. The drive by Anthony, so they take the lead.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Nelson kicks to Ellis. Chandler with a screen for Ellis to stop the drought. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Ellis has got his second bucket of the game to go. The Knicks have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Anthony with the screen on Nelson. He only dishes to Carmelo. No good on the three.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
It's a tie game in Dallas. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Tune in Tuesday, November 11th. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors go up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. Do not miss it.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
And so here is New York.
It's interesting that the Mavs almost exclusively built through free agency. They make draft picks, but they always seem to have a hand in free agency comes along.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Calderon at the 1, Hardaway Jr. at the 2. Anthony out there with J.R. Smith, and it's Bargnani in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Well, Clark, you look back at some of the big names they were rumored to be in on. Darren Williams and Dwight Howard, those 2 names come to mind.
And they missed out on them, but they've always been very good about remaining flexible when they need to be with the salary cap.
Well, Carmelo Anthony's free agent decision subject to much speculation and hand-wringing in New York over the last season, but in the end, he decided to remain with the Knicks, much to the relief of the hometown faithful.
Both free throws good from Anthony. And for Melo, the decision to return to New York made more challenging by their struggles last season.
Yeah, you know, Melo is comfortable, I think, playing in the bright lights and the big city where he grew up until age 8. I don't think he shies away from that. Actually, he handles it quite well, in my opinion. It's not easy to play in New York. But the Knicks had to convince him that they could win going forward in order for him to return.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the 5-time All-Star point guard, was taken with the 24th pick in last year's draft and really proved to be a pleasant surprise for the Knicks.
And he knocks down the first one. And amongst a rookie class that struggled to make much of an impact last season, Tim Hardaway Jr. probably exceeded expectations more than any other rookie. Wouldn't you say, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I thought he was terrific. He shot the ball well in every facet. He ran the floor in transition, played within himself. Like a lot of Michigan players, you know, he's very skilled. He dribble, pass, and shoot. It really was a perfect fit with that Knicks team.
New York Knicks were ranked as the NBA's most valuable franchise recently, and with team value skyrocketing, the Knicks came in at around $1.5 billion. That's a B, billion.
6 to shoot. White, the pass to Parsons. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Parsons got his first points in this one. The Knicks with the lead. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Outside Anthony. Lets it go with a three. That's good. Anthony's got 7 points. And, of course, for the Knicks, a huge part of their value comes from playing in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kevin. The business and media capital of the United States, they go out of their way to attract the big stars to the games. Courtside seats for the top names. That helps give the Knicks an allure, kind of a glamour that a lot of franchises don't have. But that was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Smith kicks to Calderon. Down low, Hardaway goes up high for the two-handed dunk. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Felton sets a screen for Parsons. Down low, here's Wright. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Brandon Wright, the former 8th overall pick back in 2007. For his career, Steve, a field goal percentage of around 60%.
Well, he's figured out his niche in the league. He wasn't sure what he was when he arrived, but he's a backup big. He's a diver. He's an offensive rebound guy. He's a lob catcher. So, not a one-on-one scorer, but somebody who can play off of others very effectively.
And Wright, because he's light-weighted, can struggle in matchups with stronger opponents. But he is a shot blocker. His length really helps him in pick-and-roll situations.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And for Wright, it seems like he'll always be slight of build, but he hasn't been one to chafe over his playing time. He just focuses on playing well in the minutes he earns.
The drive by Anthony. Calderon dishes to Carmelo. Back to Calderon. Feeds to Smith. No good on the 3. Mavericks trailed by 4. Pass break Dallas. Felton leading the charge. Pass to Harris. Parsons on the wing. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Wright. Nowitzki comes in for Jefferson. Ellis, he's checked in for Raymond Felton. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Devin Harris. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Bargnani. Stoudemire comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Shumpert is checked in for Hardaway. And it's Larkin in for Jose Calderon. Parsons against Shumpert. He kicks to Smith. Lets the 3 fly. Smith missing again. The Mavericks trailing. Dishes it to Ellis. Back to Nelson. Chandler with a screen for Nelson. Nowitzki left side. That doesn't go on the chance to tie.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Dallenberg with a screen on Ellis. Dallenberg sets a screen for Smith. And that one's good.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him. And on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
And a tight game here as we end the first half. Knicks out front, up 4. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Carmelo, after this first half of play, what do you believe the team needs to focus on from here on out?
Well, just communication and trusting one another. When somebody get beat, the next guy got his back, and we're just trying to get up and down, get going somewhere somehow. For the most part, we did pretty good. A couple of adjustments on the defensive end. Make some shots, and we'll be fine.
Melo, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, he had a sensational first half, which was made, I think, even more significant given the amount of extra defensive help was paid to him.
Yeah, but for him, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, we don't expect anything less. And I'll bet he continues to do the same kind of damage through the final two quarters.
The Knicks leading by 4.
Well, the Mavs took some heat when they opted not to try to defend their 2011 championship with the same players, opting for cap room instead. And they've swung and missed on some big names, but they've put together a really deep club with some very smart signings.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Dallas, the forwards are Parsons and Dirk. Dallas is out there with Nelson, and it's Chandler in at the 5 down low. Here's Stoudemire. Soft touch off the glass. Stoudemire's got the lead up to 6 now for the Knicks.
And, when it comes to Dirk Nowitzki, he has said, he's on the record as saying he wants to retire a Maverick. The ownership, anyway, has reciprocated that desire. But the greatest player in franchise history deserves to finish out strong in legitimate contention, and they've committed the resources to try to make that be a reality.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, guys, who wouldn't like a raise of over 17 times their current salary? That's what Chandler Parsons received this offseason, going from making under $1 million a season to earning 3 years, $46 million. And Kevin, Parsons was a steal at his prior salary, but at $15 million a season, he'll need to continue to improve.
Still young with a very versatile game. Doris, thank you. Brandon Wright's checked in for Dallas. Jefferson comes in for Chandler Parsons. And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. Second, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, he had a terrific year last year, consistent, and ended up being one of the best scorers in the league.
Mavericks trailed by 6. And for Nowitzki, he's made financial sacrifices to enable the Mavericks the cap space, Steve, to go out and construct this roster.
Yeah, only $26 million on the books before he was re-signed, so that left plenty of shopping money, and they spent it well.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. And Prigioni kicks to Anthony. From 12 feet out. Here's D'Alembert, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Boy, what a great job making good on the second opportunity. He stayed with that play from start to finish.
Chandler a screen over in the corner. Ellis right outside. Now the feed to Nelson. Dallas moving the ball around. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Carmelo Anthony last season. Second in scoring, and he was also very dependable behind the three-point line, finishing the season among the top 20 three-point shooters.
You look back to his points per game ranking last season. I mean, he was a dominant scorer all season long. There wasn't a coach in the NBA that could figure out a way to defend him.
First one falls for him. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Ellis. And Harris subbed in for Jameer Nelson. The Knicks also changing it up. Bargnani is checked in for D'Alembert. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And it's Calderon in for Pablo Prigioni. And so he hits both. Well, the problem for the Knicks last year is that they didn't really do any one thing in an outstanding way.
Well, a lot of people wonder how they missed the playoffs, but when you look at them and analyze them, they were really an average team.
Anthony with the screen on Harris. Hardaway passes to Anthony, and Anthony gets double teamed. Clock at 6. Calderon dishes to Bargnani, and that one's good. Bargnani's got his first bucket in this one. We've got 1:28 left to play in the third.
Well, even with the weakness of the Eastern Conference last year, the Knicks unable to get into the postseason. It was a subpar year across the board. They're looking to bounce back now. Well, great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, it sure was. He made a beeline for the bucket as soon as they got the ball. Right away, straight to the rim.
Chandler with a screen for Felton. Harris kicks to Felton. The dish now to Jefferson. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Jefferson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Knicks leading by 7.
Well, you know, when you look at most playoff teams, there's an established, clear identity of who they are and how they play and what they rely on night in and night out. The Knicks didn't have any of that.
Harris outside. From past the arc. And again, it's Richard Jefferson with the 3. And now just a 4-point New York lead. For New York, they've gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Calderon passes to Shumpert. Bargnani down low. He's guarded by Chandler. Shot's good from Bargnani.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, their energy is lacking, and they've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
And it's Harris off the drive. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Jefferson.
What a performance, Kevin. It seems like every 3 he shoots is falling for him. He's in the zone.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Knicks lead by 3. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter.
Next Tuesday.
And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the finish, guys, this is where you know you are right on the money with that pass. Look at that. Perfectly timed.
Mavericks trail by 3. And New York looking at who they've got. They've got Smith. Shane Larkin is out there with Pablo Prigioni. Then it's Stoudemire. And it's D'Alembert in at center. 18 feet out. Nowitzki, no good. The Knicks shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Here's Smith. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Smith's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for New York. Dallas has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Nelson kicks to Wright. He feeds it to Nowitzki. Plenty of space. That doesn't go either for Nowitzki.
Oh, easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
And he gets it to go. And it's a 7-point Knicks lead.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
The Mavericks shooting 43% for the game. Count the bucket.
Unbelievable basket. What a huge height disadvantage. I thought for sure it would be blocked.
Not this fella, Steve. Not at this stage of the game. He was going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way.
Here's Prigioni. Passes it to Smith. The shot. And Wright pulls it down. Wright's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Nelson outside. Nowitzki in the post. D'Alembert's there. Nowitzki, no good.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
D'Alembert against Wright. Larkin dishes to Smith. Shot clock at 6. A second chance effort. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Knicks.
They've been the aggressors, and they've been tougher in the paint all game.
They've worked hard tonight at crashing the boards as well. They've had a bunch of second chance points.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. Carmelo Anthony is checked in for the Knicks. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
He adds to their lead with a couple of solid free throws.
Dallas calls timeout. They're losing by 7. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Nowitzki. The basket good off the assist from Nelson.
They'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
New York leading by 5. Smith with it, picked up by Ellis. Knocked away. Stolen by Ellis. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
New York calls timeout. They're up by 3. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Ione passes to Anthony. Here's Prigioni. The drive by Anthony. Dallenberg. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Exceptional play to take the bump and still get it up and down.
Yeah, way to stay with it and look to finish the play right there.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Chandler's checked in. Dallenberg, no good on the free throw. Mavericks trailed by 5. Ellis on top. Nelson against Smith. The teardrop falls in. 6 points for Jameer Nelson.
Well, they found the touch here in the second half from the field, and everything else we talk about, Coach, rebounding, defense, all of that, this game is still about making shots. You got to put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line, and they found a way to do it here in the second half.
Smith against Ellis. Nowitzki drives in, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, they did have a foul to give, but they couldn't get it done before the shot attempt.
Yeah, you really want to try to foul in that situation before he gets into the shooting motion, and it just didn't work out that time.
He hits the first one, and that brings them within 2. Ramon Shumpert is checked in for J.R. Smith. And so Nowitzki has both of them.
He's got ice water in his veins, fellas. No way he's going to miss from the line when the game's still hanging in the balance. I've seen him make too many in this situation.
And Prigioni kicks to Anthony. Off the screen. Here's Dallenberg. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
It's been a good one for Dallenberg. He has 8 points, and when it comes to rebounding, he's had a nice night there, too.
Yeah, he's really been mixing it up in the middle, getting in there and doing a lot of the dirty work for them.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 3-point game. We've got 33 seconds left in the game. Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Nobody near Parsons. Buries it. A tremendous three to tie it up.
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
New York calls timeout. Played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Here's Prigioni. Kicks it to Carmelo. Stoudemire outside. Shumpert with it. Baseline jumper. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. Time expires, and we're going to overtime. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. Start of overtime just upon us as they get ready for the jump ball. And it's the Mavericks to start out. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And New York, looking at who they've got. Shumpert and Melo go to wings. Stoudemire out there with D'Alembert. And it's Prigioni in at the guard position. Chandler with the block. They get it back. Stoudemire dishes to Shumpert. Drops in the tray.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Dallas has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And it's Nowitzki missing.
That's as high percentage as it gets for him. I mean, the defense really has to be mindful of not giving him that kind of space to operate.
Shumpert passes to Stoudemire. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Gets an open look and hits. And now a 3-point Knicks lead.
That's been a great day for him, and if you remember, he gave them a huge performance their last time out as well.
Nowitzki sets a screen for Nelson. Pass to Nowitzki. Fires at the elbow. It falls! And that shot brings them to within just one.
Nowitzki, what an offensive force he can be.
And Prigioni kicks to Anthony. Mavericks with the rebound.
Yeah, trying to put a little mustard on the hot dog here. That was just convert the shot. Come on. Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that.
Stoudemire outside. Shumpert against Ellis. Out to Stoudemire. New York moving it around. Here's Shumpert. It's good!
They do have a foul to give here.
Yeah, you might see them use that at some point. I would.
And the Mavericks call time here. They trailed by 3. 15 seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, they've got two options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
Parsons against Anthony. 14 feet away. Sinks it. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you got to freeze the clock. I mean, that's the enemy in this situation.
A few misses at the line, and they're in good shape.
Around 2 minutes into overtime now. It's been a good one. And they go to the intentional foul. as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. He's able to hit the second one, and that will put them up by 2. Overtime in full swing here. 2 minutes off the clock. The alley-oop denied. Stuffed it and grabs the rock. The one-man stop. So a close game sees New York take this one. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect every aspect of play. They didn't look tired at all to me.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony.